Trainee Police Academy. Now, this case was brought to our attention on the 6th of May, and in less than 24 hours, our Family Violence, Child Protection and Sexual Investigations Unit had arrested this 59-year-old captain, and he has been in police custody since that particular incident. And General Fani Masemola has deployed maximum resources to investigate this particular case, and we are now aware that a second victim has come forward. Initially, we had one victim that was allegedly raped on the 6th of May, and within less than 24 hours, we managed to effect the arrest. And we have been creating that awareness within the academy to ensure our police trainees speak out against gender-based violence. Our academies are meant to be safe havens. They are not an environment where the youth, young people in this country are meant to be violated. So the National Commissioner General Fani Masemola has strongly condemned this particular incident, and we have suspended his salary. We have also suspended him, and his disciplinary hearing is expected to be heard on the 4th and 5th of June. So that is insofar as how we are approaching this particular case in terms of the alleged rape and sexual assault of our police trainees. So we've got a duty and responsibility as the SAPS to ensure that we protect the learners, the students that are being trained to become police officers. We have a duty and responsibility to ensure that we stand and act against any form of gender-based violence and femicide within our ranks. And that is why we have acted swiftly to take action against this 59-year-old police captain. So we have been opposing bail. And from the day of his arrest, the 7th of May, he has been in police custody. So that is as far as we have went in on this particular matter. And we will also support the opposing of bail this morning. In terms of the Olerato case, I think before I even move on to the Olerato case, it's important to also highlight that the victim who was allegedly raped, the 20-year-old police trainee, has been receiving maximum support from our employee health and wellness unit. We have our psychologists, our social workers that have been providing the necessary counseling to this particular trainee. And not only this trainee, we have been creating awareness, and we have been calling on any trainee that is a victim of gender-based violence and femicide, not necessarily at the hands of this particular captain, but to also come forward and to get the necessary counseling. So in terms of the Olerato murder case, we have registered commendable progress insofar as this case is concerned. We do officially confirm that we are investigating a syndicate. We do believe that we have broken the back of a syndicate that is targeting women, especially young women out there, where they utilize the same modus operandi. They propose these young women, usually in malls. They propose them, ask to request to take them out on dates. When they agree, that is when they plan to rob them. We do have a case where we had actually arrested 2 of the 3 suspects that we are looking for. On the 20th of April this year, we arrested Bongani Mtimkulu as well as Pila Makanya on a charge of kidnapping and robbery in the Brakpan area, where a vigilant police officer was conducting his regular patrols, and he came across a suspicious looking vehicle, a VW Polo, the same VW Polo in question. And when he confronted these suspects, he found that they had just kidnapped a woman and robbed her. We immediately placed these 2 suspects under arrest. On the 22nd of April, they appeared in court on a charge of kidnapping and robbery. and on the 26th of April, they got bail. So they are currently out on bail, but we are linking them with various other cases. We have provided the number of Brigadier Nama, who is handling this particular case. And since issuing this number, hundreds of ladies are calling, a lot of women are calling and giving out information on how they met, particularly Bongani Mtimkulu and Pila Makanya on several occasions. And what they're relaying to us is that they are utilizing the same modus operandi. They meet them in malls, they propose to them, ask them out on dates, and when they agree, they rob them and so on. So we are calling on more women to come forward with more information. We really appreciate the cooperation that we are getting from these young women, mostly young. We have people calling as far as the Northern Cape. We have people calling as far as the Free State. We have people calling in Gauteng that are saying that we have been approached by these suspects that you are looking for. We do positively identify them as those that also tried to rob us, or those that were proposing us and were demanding to go out on dates. But in terms of this particular case, like I've indicated, commendable progress has been made. We immediately set up a multidisciplinary team on Sunday when we received this case, which was led by a crime intelligence unit. We had our SAPS anti-kidnapping task team that was leading this particular investigation. We also had a DPCI KZN that we have been working with. We've got Durban Metro K9 that was also instrumental in assisting us in this particular case. But we also have the Gauteng Provincial Investigating Unit that has been also hard at work in assisting us to register a breakthrough. So on Wednesday morning, our team made their way to Durban in KZN after following up on information that the suspects may be hiding in KwaMashu, where they originate from. So our investigation started on Sunday. We traced their steps. We landed at a lodge in Q in Johannesburg, where two suspects had booked a room. And we now know that they booked the room, they paid for it, but they didn't sleep in that particular room on Sunday evening. So we have been tracing their steps. We know that after the incident, after allegedly murdering Olerato and dumping her body in Lombardy West, they then drove back to KwaZulu-Natal. So our team arrived yesterday afternoon in KwaMashu, where we identified one of the suspects' houses. We also went to the area of Phoenix at a panel beater workshop, where we recovered the VW Polo in question that we have been looking for. The team immediately mobilized our forensic science experts, our forensic experts, to start working on this particular vehicle. And that is when they made the discovery that there were traces of blood inside this Polo. And when we compare the VW Polo that we have been looking for to the one that has been found, it has been positively identified as the Polo that was used in the commission of the crime, particularly the case of the murder case of Olerato Mongale. So at this stage, the owner of the vehicle is the father of one of the suspects that is on the run. He is in police custody, he is cooperating, and our teams are busy with him, interviewing him, raising the concerns that it is his vehicle. The vehicle is under his name, so he needs to account as to where his vehicle has been, and is he aware that his vehicle has been involved in heinous crimes, has been involved in the alleged murder of a woman, a 30-year-old woman? Is he aware that this vehicle is wanted? Believe they are still somewhere in KZN. We are requesting the people of South Africa, do not harbor these dangerous criminals. We need to bring them to book. We need them to answer to crimes that they've allegedly committed. We are requesting you to stand up against gender-based violence and femicide. We need to put a stop to the senseless killings of women, children and vulnerable groups in this country. And we are therefore requesting your cooperation, your assistance in this particular case. We are also saying to Fezile Ngubane, Bongani Mtimkulu, as well as Phila Makanya, do surrender at your nearest police station. You are aware of the crimes that you have committed. Do surrender and hand yourselves over. We are searching for you. We do believe that you can assist us in all these cases that are being reported to the police, that are being reported to Brigadier Nama. So if I can just repeat the number for Brigadier Nama, who is leading this particular investigation. His number is 082 778 9035. Anyone who has fallen victim to the syndicate that is targeting women, do come forward. If anyone has information on their whereabouts, please do come forward and assist police investigations. But we want to assure the people of this country that we have placed maximum resources into this case, into finding these three suspects. And in a matter of no time, we've got full faith and confidence in the teams that are on the ground actively searching for these suspects. But we also require your assistance, the people of South Africa, to help us put a stop to what has happened. And it looks like the robbery spree or kidnapping spree that they've been involved in, targeting women only in malls, proposing them, same modus operandi utilized. So I had indicated that we were still analyzing the dockets in the cases that we picked up in the Sandton area, where two other women were found dumped on the side of the road. We are still investigating those cases, whether there are any links. So those particular investigations are ongoing. But we do believe that the pictures that we have shared, the identities that we have shared, we are on to the right suspects, and that they are aware of what they have done. They need to surrender. And like I've indicated earlier on, maximum resources, GBVF is a serious crime in South Africa. It's a national crisis, and that's why you see police mobilizing maximum resources in each and every case that is reported and brought to our attention. I think when the minister released the Crime Stats on Friday, he announced that between January this year and March, we had arrested 5,800 GBVF perpetrators in the country in a period of 3 months alone. I think in the past year, more than 1,700 GBF perpetrators were convicted to time in prison. Some were sentenced to life, some received 20 years and more in prison. So that just talks to the work of our detectives, the work of our family violence, child protection and sexual investigations unit. So I will leave it at that. We are still searching for Bongani Mtimkulu, Pila Makanya, as well as Fezi Lengubani. Do hand yourselves over to the nearest police station, but be rest assured, South Africa, we will find them. We have no option. Our communities come first. Our communities are relying on us. The women and children of this country, and as well as vulnerable groups, they have no one to look up to but to the police. And we are saying we are dedicated and we are committed to the fight against gender-based violence. And that is why you also see in all our police stations there is a GBVF desk. We've got our victim-friendly rooms where we ensure that we assist and we assist victims of crime in those particular rooms, where we treat them with the sensitivity that they deserve. So women out there, vulnerable groups, please be extra vigilant, especially when going out on blind dates. If you're not familiar with the people that you are going out with, don't do it. Because now we are seeing that people are not genuine. People are not who they say they are. Some have ulterior motives, just like the syndicate that goes around targeting young women for their money. So we are still investigating the motive of why they went ahead and killed Olerato Mongale. And we are hoping that when we do find them, they will tell us why they had to kill her. And we also want to know how many more crimes are they linked to. But already we are linking them to several cases in Gauteng. Like I've indicated, Brigadier Nama's phone is ringing off the hook, where victims are coming forward, and people that also know them are saying we may have information on their whereabouts. This is where they frequent, and so on. So thank you, the people of South Africa. Thank you to members of the media as well. Social media, thank you so much. You guys have been also instrumental in sharing information and so on. So social media community, thank you as well for the role that you are playing.
Kathilenda, just one question. With regards to the blood that was traced in the polo, has the police determined who it belongs to?
Well, it's still early stages, because remember, our forensic experts were on the scene yesterday. They worked until very late, where they were analyzing this particular vehicle and collecting any evidence, every piece of evidence that they can find on this vehicle. So we are hoping that in no time, I can't give obviously an exact date, that they will be able to tell us what their investigation reveals, what their analysis reveals as to who that blood belongs to. But we are quite confident where we are standing that we have got the right VW Polo that was used in the commission of this particular crime. We do believe that the photos that we have shared of these suspects, we are on the right track.
Linda, we are seeing a pattern here where, in these crimes, most of the times you find that the perpetrators are actually out on bail. Is it not concerning that in most of these cases, the police work hard to ensure that they find these perpetrators and arrest them, but then again, they are granted bail and they go out again and recommit crimes out there?
It's quite concerning that we've got repeat offenders. I mean, if we've previously arrested these suspects, Bongani Mtimkulu as well as Pila Makanya, on a case of robbery and kidnapping where a woman was a victim and they got bail. It's quite concerning, because they shouldn't be out on the street. And looking at this recent incident, what transpired in this particular incident, you can see that we're not dealing with human beings here, we're dealing with animals, and they shouldn't be allowed to roam the streets of South Africa freely. But we will get to that part. We will get to know, while our investigators are busy piecing evidence, analyzing different dockets, we'll get to know the real reason why they got bail. Because in all honesty, these type of characters, we would expect that bail would be opposed and bail would be denied. So we will be following up with this particular information as to what may have caused them, well, to get bail.
Nanda, do you have an idea? I know there's the April 20 matter, and you're saying that you're receiving calls. Is there a way of saying how far back the syndicate could have been operating?
Look, we are still engaging with these women, as they call, because I was actually speaking to the lead investigator, and he was telling me that his phone has not stopped ringing ever since we published his number and we gave it out. So the team will still sit down and actually count how many women fell victim to this particular syndicate. But what is encouraging is that we do believe we are on the right track. We do believe that we have broken the back of the syndicate that was targeting women, proposing to them, and their plan was just to kidnap, rob. And we are hoping that with other cases of women that were found murdered and dumped on the side of the road, we'll be able to link them. But so far, we are linking them to several cases, Free State, in the Northern Cape, in Gauteng as well. And our teams are still piecing this information together, analyzing the dockets, and at the right time we will provide a comprehensive report of what type of suspects and a syndicate we are onto. But like I've indicated, our teams are on the ground. We're working 24/7. We are actively searching for these dangerous suspects.
And is it normal that you have a situation where a car is impounded and then you get a court order to release the car while it's being part of an investigation? And who did that come from? I don't even know.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. It's quite loud.
Just in terms of the court order to release the car, I don't know if you know, is it normal that someone will get a court order to release their car while an investigation is on? And who did that come from, that court order?
Well, I'm not privy to the nitty-gritties of that particular case, but those are some of, the dockets that we are busy analyzing at this moment. So I don't want to get into intricate details of that particular case, but safe to say is that we have identified that the same polo that was utilized in that particular case that we had previously impounded and was in our SAP 13 store, it was released back based on a court order. So I wouldn't want to get too much into it. Let's find these suspects. Let's find Bongani Mtimkulu. Let's find Fezile Ngubani. Let's find Pila Makanya. They may be watching now. Do surrender to the police. We are searching for you. You have the answers that we are looking for on why you committed the crimes that you have committed.
Were the police able to access Olerato's phone line? I remember you were trying to get leads from there. Have they been able to access the phone?
That's for us to know. That's for us to know. I think those are, we don't go into too much detail when we give what we have uncovered so far. But safe to say is that the positive leads that we have been following have been successful. The results are there. The car is with us now. We do have the parent of one of the suspects in custody, and they are cooperating with us because we really need to know more. We need to know more information. We need to gather more information as to who these suspects really are and how long has this been ongoing, because the car does belong to the father of one of the suspects, and I think what is key is that how did he allow the child to go with his car for so many days and not asking where are you, and but those are questions that we will engage with the family that is cooperating with the police. Okay, thanks, colleagues.
Just a quick one, Linda. そうですか。